Your arteries are narrowing right now, not because you are lazy, not because you eat badly, because the plaque building inside your arterial walls does not care how many salads you eat or how many miles you run. It is a biological process. It is happening continuously, and the tests your doctor runs every year are not measuring it. Most people find out they have arterial plaque the same way: a cardiac event, a scan after a hospital visit, a result that comes back and changes everything. By that point, the plaque has been building for 10, 15, sometimes 20 years, silent, progressing, narrowing the vessels that carry blood to your heart, your brain, your kidneys. While you went about your life believing your annual checkup was keeping you safe, it was not. Here is what arterial plaque actually is. It is not simply fat sitting inside a pipe. It is a complex inflammatory lesion inside the arterial wall itself. When your blood sugar repeatedly spikes above 140 milligrams per deciliter after bread, rice, pasta, or oatmeal, the endothelial cells lining your arteries sustain direct chemical damage. Oxidized LDL particles enter that damaged wall. Immune cells follow, foam cells form, and the plaque begins to build inside the wall, invisible from the outside. Invisible on standard blood work, invisible on an EKG, invisible until it ruptures or occludes enough to cause a crisis. The dangerous plaque is not the hard, calcified kind. That kind is stable. The plaque that kills people is soft, lipid-rich, and unstable. It does not narrow the artery significantly before it ruptures. It sits there, growing quietly, and then one day a piece of it breaks off, a clot forms, and the artery closes. That is a heart attack. That is a stroke, and it happens to people who had no symptoms the day before. A 2019 analysis in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology tracked 9,533 adults over 15 years. People with high soft plaque burden had a 340% greater risk of fatal cardiovascular events than those with low burden, independent of cholesterol levels, blood pressure, or BMI. Not significantly higher risk. 340%. Your cholesterol panel is not measuring this. Your blood pressure reading is not measuring this. Your doctor's standard annual workup is not measuring this. And it is building right now. You have tried things. You have cut fat from your diet. You have done cardio. Maybe you take a statin, and maybe your numbers come back in range and your doctor tells you everything looks fine. But here is the biological reality. Standard low-fat dietary advice actively contributes to arterial plaque. In people with underlying metabolic dysfunction, removing fat leads to manufacturers replacing it with glycemic carbs. Bread, pasta, rice, cereals, marketed as heart-healthy whole grains. Every time you eat these, your blood glucose spikes. If it crosses 140 milligrams per deciliter, the endothelial lining of your arteries enters an acute inflammatory state. Every single meal that crosses that threshold is inflaming your arteries and preparing the ground for more plaque. Steady state cardio. You have been told this is good for your heart. And it does improve aerobic capacity, but it does not efficiently reverse insulin resistance, which is the root metabolic driver of arterial plaque. Chronic long-distance cardio without resistance training progressively reduces leg muscle mass. Your legs are your body's largest glucose-clearing tissue. Less muscle means less capacity to pull glucose. You can run 5 days a week and be slowly losing the metabolic capacity that protects your arteries. Your statin, it may be lowering your LDL number, but LDL is not the direct driver in people with metabolic disease. High-dose statins have been shown to increase insulin resistance and diabetes risk by up to 46%. You may be worsening the exact metabolic condition driving your plaque while your LDL looks better on paper. None of these interventions are measuring or targeting the actual biological process. That is why the plaque kept building. The first mechanism, your blood sugar threshold is destroying your arteries meal by meal. Without controlling post-meal blood glucose below 140, every intervention you make is incomplete. Above this level, nitric oxide production is suppressed. Nitric oxide keeps arterial walls flexible and resistant. Suppress it repeatedly and the wall becomes more permeable to oxidized LDL. The plaque has a door and high blood sugar opens it. A 2018 study demonstrated that post-meal glucose excursions above 140 were associated with carotid plaque growth. Even in individuals with normal fasting glucose and normal HbA1c, meaning your standard blood work looks normal, while your arteries are thickening every day. The oral glucose tolerance test is the most accurate tool for this. Drink 75 grams of glucose, measure at baseline 1 hour and 2 hours. If it peaks above 140, your arteries are taking hits. Request this test. Do not accept a fasting glucose alone as a measure of your metabolic risk. The dietary change is specific. Remove grain products, bread, rice, pasta, oatmeal. Replace them with protein, fat, and non-starchy vegetables. Not because fat is good and carbs are bad in an abstract sense, because these specific foods are the ones crossing your personal 140 threshold, and you need to know which ones and eliminate them. The second mechanism, your leg muscles are your most powerful cardiovascular drug, and most people are wasting them. Without metabolically active leg muscle tissue, glucose clearance after meals is severely impaired. Every year of sedentary behavior or endurance-only cardio is reducing the tissue that is your body's primary defense. Skeletal muscle contraction activates GLUT4 transporter translocation to the muscle cell surface through an insulin-independent pathway. The muscle pulls glucose directly from the blood without requiring insulin. This is the fastest mechanism in the body. A 2021 meta-analysis found that HIIT reduced fasting insulin by 28.5% and improved sensitivity by 31.2% compared to moderate intensity continuous exercise. The metabolic impact of intensity is not incremental, it is categorically different. The practical protocol, 2 to 3 sessions per week of HIIT. 20 to 40 seconds at maximum effort. Repeat 2 to 4 times. Total working time under 3 minutes. That is sufficient to drive the insulin sensitivity adaptations. In addition, resistance snacks, 1 minute of wall sits, 1 minute of deep lunges, each leg, calf raises, performed once in the morning and evening. These create acute glucose clearance events that keep spikes below 140. The third mechanism, arterial inflammation, is being driven by a cortisol loop your doctor is not measuring. Without addressing cortisol, arterial inflammation persists. Cortisol triggers glucose production and raises blood sugar. Visceral fat is an endocrine organ, secreting inflammatory cytokines, TNF-alpha, IL-6, directly into the arterial wall. One night of poor sleep, fewer than 6 hours, raises cortisol the following day by 37% and increases insulin resistance for the subsequent 48 hours. Your arteries are inflamed from what you did not do at night. A 2019 study found that individuals sleeping fewer than 6 hours had a 27% higher rate of atherosclerosis progression. 7 to 9 hours of sleep is a clinical cardiovascular intervention, not a lifestyle recommendation, a clinical intervention. Additionally, slow breathing, 6 breaths per minute, 4 seconds inhale, 6 to 8 seconds exhale. This activates the vagal brake and reduces cortisol by 15% within 10 minutes. This is not soft wellness, it is a protocol. The fourth mechanism, the test your doctor is running cannot find the plaque that is going to kill you. Without measuring what is actually building inside your arteries, you are navigating blind. Standard blood work is not enough. The carotid intima media thickness test, CIMT, is a 5-minute ultrasound of the carotid arteries in the neck. No radiation, no contrast. It directly measures arterial wall thickness and can detect soft, unstable plaque years before any symptom appears. It gives you an arterial age. Beyond CIMT, C-reactive protein measures systemic vascular inflammation. LPPLA2 measures inflammation specifically within the arterial plaque itself. DEXA body composition scan measures visceral fat mass with precision that no BMI calculation can approximate. These 4 tests together give you an actual picture. Request them. If your physician will not order them, find one who will. You cannot reverse what you cannot measure. I want to tell you about a patient, 61 years old, triathlete, competed at a regional level for 12 years. Ate what he described as a clean diet, low fat, whole grains, plenty of fruit. His cholesterol and blood pressure were fine. He came to me after a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke. When we ran a CIMT, his arterial age was 79. When we ran an oral glucose tolerance test, his blood sugar peaked at 188. He had been eating oatmeal for breakfast every single morning for 12 years. Believing it was protecting his heart. Every morning, that oatmeal was pushing his blood sugar past the 140. Every morning, his endothelial cells were sustaining damage. 12 years, twice a day, while he trained for triathlons and received clean annual checkups. The stroke was the first signal his body sent him. He was not unlucky, he was untested. That could be you, right now, today. You make progress. Then you undo it. Here is how. Alcohol. Even moderate alcohol consumption raises triglycerides, elevates blood pressure, disrupts sleep architecture, and impairs the liver's glucose regulation. One drink raises post-breakfast blood sugar by an average of 12 milligrams per deciliter. There is no safe quantity for someone with existing plaque. Processed seed oils, linoleic acid from soybean, canola, and sunflower oil incorporates directly into LDL particles and dramatically increases their susceptibility to oxidation. Increases susceptibility to oxidation. Oxidized LDL is the particle that penetrates the arterial wall. You cannot avoid it in processed food. High-dose statins without lifestyle foundation. If your statin is not accompanied by aggressive carbohydrate reduction and resistance training, it is managing a lab number. It is managing a lab number while the root metabolic driver continues unaddressed, and it is increasing your risk of developing insulin resistance. Believing your annual checkup is enough. Your doctor's standard panel cannot see soft plaque. They cannot see your arterial age. The absence of a red flag on standard blood work is not the same as the absence of disease. It is the absence of measurement. Here is what you do this week. Get an oral glucose tolerance test. Not a fasting glucose, not an HbA1c, a full oral glucose tolerance test with measurements at baseline, 1 hour, and 2 hours. Find out whether your blood sugar is crossing 140. That single number will tell you more about your arterial risk than every cholesterol panel you have ever had. Remove grain products from 2 meals per day to start, not all at once, just 2. Replace them with protein and non-starchy vegetables. Measure how you feel at 90 minutes after eating. If your energy is flat and your hunger is controlled, your blood sugar stayed low. That is the signal. Add 1 set of high-intensity leg work every single day. Wall sits to failure, deep lunges, calf raises. 1 minute each. It takes 4 minutes. It activates GLUT4 transport and begins rebuilding the glucose clearing capacity that your arteries depend on. The plaque is building right now, not because you are failing, but because no one showed you what was causing it. What number did your blood sugar hit 1 hour after your last meal? If you have never measured it, that is the answer you need to find this week. And if you want to understand the specific inflammatory markers, I cover exactly that in the next video. Because knowing your plaque burden is one thing, Knowing whether it is dangerous right now is something else entirely.